the Twitch TV page. Tell me if that works. What should we go back to? What should we do now? Does anyone have a suggestion for what we should try? Should we play something else? Could I go and play? Has anybody been playing UFO? Has anyone been playing UFO Enemy Unknown? How is this working? It should have come back, no? The aliens are invading! I'm 2491cc, I am on Twitch TV. We're all gonna die! Have I come back yet? It says live. Audio was out of sync. Okay. Okay, we're back! So I'm saying, is anybody playing playing UFO Enemy Unknown? Does anyone remember that? Hello? Anyone hearing me? Stop! You violated the law! You haven't missed anything, seriously. I just wanted to try and resync the stream. I don't know how well this is looking, because it could be awful for all I know. I mean XCOM, UFO, Enemy on XCOM, that's right. XCOM. Nobody playing that right now? Let's save this, actually. I saved my Straddle launcher. I kind of like that. Should I do something else here? Oh, so anyway, yeah, I was thinking about UFO Enemy Unknown, and one of the interesting things that came up for me is, well, one of the things I remember is I remember playing the original game on the PC many years ago, and it's by a guy called Julian Gollop, right? That was the original PC version. The remake isn't by him, but I remember him from one of my favorite games from like a decade ago, and I'm just gonna put this on for a while. Let me just modify the overlay here. Oh wait, I need to restart the stream to do that. Oh man. Okay, that is terrible. I could just do this and see how that works. Hold on, I do screen share, click on this. Maybe this will work. No, oh, is this working? I can't tell. Ah! So I'm using FF split, and it doesn't like to restart apparently. Can you see the game Chaos? Chaos is a game by Julian Gollop, and he is the guy. Right, so he's the guy that wrote the original UFO Enemy Unknown, and it's actually a pretty awesome game. It is a battle of wizards, and I'm just going to make the thing play itself. So let's create 2 wizards, and we're going to fight Gandalf versus... yes, he's computer controlled. He's going to be grey, so that'll be 7. And the other one will be Saruman. Computer controlled, yes, and he'll be this dude, and he'll be white. And so they're going to fight. Now, this is a game from 1985. This is one of Julian Gollop's first game, and he went on, he also did Rebel Star, he did Laser Squad, and he did Lords of Chaos, and he did the UFO games, the original ones. So yeah, like, he builds a magical castle, and they're firing stuff at each other. And so you fight this thing by like conjuring monsters to do your bidding. And it's actually a really cool game. So you can go to zxspectrum.net, and there's all these old ZX Spectrum games from, like, you know, forever, ages ago. Why is screen sharing not working? Screen sharing, pardon me, share selected window. There we go. I'm sorry to YouTube people. Finally, the YouTube people can actually pay attention, because the stuttering doesn't matter for this. You just can't hear the awesome sound effects. Saruman is conjuring a giant. So there's other cool things in this game that you could, if you conjure a monster, then the heavier and the larger the monster, the harder it is to conjure, the more like chance of it failing, right? So, you know, you can instead decide that you're going to create an illusion, and an illusion has 100% chance of success, but, you know, it can be disbelieved. Also, there's like a law versus chaos thing. So that if you start by conjuring like regular animals, then you get better at conjuring regular animals, whereas if you start conjuring undead, you get better at conjuring monsters. So, you know, the game kind of works pretty well. You can have up to 8 players. It's a really cool game, but I wish you could kind of play this thing online. I'm just letting this thing fight itself. I actually had joked and asked, have you played Gary's mod? Have I played with a mod called Space Build? I have played Gary's mod, but I have not played Space Build. Has anybody played Blockade Runner? I kind of look at that. Oh, I've got Gary's mod. I'm looking at Blockade Runner, which is kind of like Minecraft with spaceships, but I'm wondering whether it's getting anywhere. It seems to have kind of stalled a little. I am back. What happened? Ham and eggs. Oh, I could do with some ham and eggs. So how's this going? Oh yeah, the blob spell. I love the blob spell. It kind of is like the green goo. It just takes over the battlefield. There's also like there's spells to resurrect dead beasties as undead. Yeah, I'm thinking of spending like the $10 on Blockade Runner anyway, just because I want to support their whole thing. But yeah, it looks like the only videos I've seen is of someone like creating this giant space hotel, which doesn't seem to be very useful in terms of gameplay. But I love it. I love the concept, but I'm waiting, I think, for some gameplay. Uh-oh. Beer went down the wrong way. Let's just drag this out a little. So we can see some of the other games that are available for the Sinclair Spectrum. Sinclair Spectrum was the first computer I learned to program on. It originally appeared in 1982 as a ZX80 processor, or Z80 processor. It had 48K of memory. That's 48K, not megabytes, 48K. It had built-in BASIC. It was built by a company called Sinclair, and it was the most popular computer in Britain forever. And people still do crazy things for it. People still write games for it. 11th year, yeah, there was still stuff coming out for it. What have we? The Neighbours video. Neighbours was a soap opera. But A10, Hobgoblin. Hunt for Red October, the movie game. Oh yeah, Lord of Chaos. The Lord of Chaos is the sequel. ZXSpectrum.net. Yeah. But the thing is, because the computer was so weak, it did not have graphics coprocessors. It did not have a sound coprocessor. The only thing it could do was make a beep. You could basically put a latch on the processor, high or low. So getting sound effects on it required, you know, hardcore working, hardcore coding on it. And yet, now if I find it somewhere, there's people that did speech on it. There's people that did some awesome synthesized music. But, you know, I learned so much from this thing because it was just a processor and nothing else. The Fury, I remember that. Empire Strikes Back. People supported this computer for so long. I want to see who wins. I'm kind of now stuck watching this. GTA 5. I like the Grand Theft Auto games. I love them. I love their sense of humor. And I will probably get another one. Gaming magazines, my goodness. I have had a few. Yeah, apparently there's even a Mario Brothers game. I'm wondering if it's even a legal copy of the Mario Brothers. Here we go. Sweevo. I'm just wanting to see what else is here. Tomahawk. That was a simulation of the Apache. Would I go to Mars if invited? Yes, I would go to anywhere if I was invited. Hey, what do you guys think of this game? Think Scott should play it? Please tell me what it is. Who's winning? It's just Gandalf's in his castle. And he's casting the Chaos spell. And Saruman's trying to disbelieve the unicorn. Haha, the unicorn was but an illusion. But the green blob is really taking over. Halloween are going to play AC... What is AC3? Space... What if you were invited, but you had to hitch a ride anyway? I was real... Oh, man. Yeah, it was a nice day. I went biking with the kids, and we were running around on the beach. It was awesome. Elite. Now, Elite, that is a classic game. I don't know if you know about it, but Elite is kind of the route where Eve started. Right? This is... let me see. So Elite is basically a spaceship game where you basically make money through trading or bounty hunting or asteroid mining. Oh my goodness, Gandalf's castle is destroyed. No! Black Space? Do I enjoy... I love roguelikes. I love roguelikes. I have many of them. Oh no, I was at Alameda Beach today. At the Crown Memorial Beach. And would I go to Europa or Titan? I would go to Titan because Titan probably has more alcohol. The contest is a draw. That is boring. Oh yeah, so you want to see terrible game. Here's let's play the Benny Hill game. Let's get like totally off course here. So the Benny Hill game, can anyone guess what happens in Benny Hill? QA... Okay, keys are QAZX. What? That's awful. Okay, let's redefine the keys. Up, down, left, right. And restart. Okay, let's start the game. So, the purpose of Benny Hill is to... You have to run around the street. You have 3 layers... No, why is it... What? What button? Okay, wait a second. Let's reboot this. It's not responding. Look at those awesome graphics, huh? 3, redefine the keys. I do up, down, left, right, space. Okay, try again. 4, start the game. Okay. So I have to be careful not to run into things. This is Benny Hill's Madcap Chase. Ah, there we go. La la la. So you got to sing the yakety sax. Da la 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 la. Ah! And he runs into a post. This is a really terrible game. Look at the awesome graphics. I think we're going to have to go back and do some KSB. So he has to go and steal some underwear, and now that woman is like, he's stolen my laundry! And so he's got to run away with it. And the game is comedic in terrible ways. Oh, quick! Don't bump into the lamppost! This was considered... People paid for this. Can you believe that? There, look, he's going to put his the clothes away. Oh, look, I'm going to wait, and she's going to run into the wall. Ah! Ah! Oh, no! Okay, the game is so terrible. Let us stop this. Seriously. Seriously, let us stop this. What am I going to do? Oh, I can just play Chaos again. What I am trying to look for is a very old and... You know, forget this. I've had enough of this. Let's go back to Kerbal. Golden Joy. Benny Hill, the memories. Have I played X? Yes, I have. So here's the thing with the X games. I bought all the X games in a super pack, and I love the idea of them. I'm just going to change the screen sharing again. Screen share. Kerbal Space Program. Share selected window. Okay. Suggestions for what to do in Kerbal Space Program. You could post an Eve link, I think. Play something fun, dumbass. Well, that wouldn't be Kerbal Space Program, huh? I'm kind of stuck. Oh, look, I could try building a lander. Oh, build a space station. Okay, so build a space station. We need to put something up there. Let's use the Cosmos command module. I have no idea what it's like. Does it have an internal thing either? So we're going to build this and we're going to leave it in orbit. Actually, that's not true. I want to... Oh, we could use mechanical jab, actually. Actually, I was going to show you... see with mechanical jab? Here's something that's interesting. Actually, let's not do that. Let's not do that. I'll go back to this. We could actually build a space station. How do I build a space station out of what I've got? I guess I get piles of structural parts that are interesting. What is this? Okay, that looks kind of squarish. Okay. Can we attach things to these? Do any of these have nodes? Okay. Nope, nothing on these. Propellant storage solutions. I guess I could just stick... No, I can't stick things on the side. Do any of these allow side attachments? Maybe I'll do that. I'll stick a big tank on top. Or I'll stick one of the empty structural fuselage here. I'll use that as the core, and maybe these will allow side attachment. No, they don't allow side attachment. Deploy a space station or satellite. I know, I'm trying to. I'm trying to figure out what pieces I can use. I guess I could do... Oh, yeah, here's the idea. I'll go on. There, do that, and then rotate it like that. And so we need a couple of these. There we go. We built these out into a space station. Nope, you're not gonna... Oh, because of these things. Okay. I just have stock pieces to hand right now, and to restart Kerbal will take forever. Come on, attach yourself. Attach yourself there! Ah! Okay, what else should I add to this? Wake up, Sky is asleep. You know, seriously, she's... What do you want her to do? Shoot somebody? Save the whales, cure cancer. Yeah, it'd be nice to have you cure cancer. You never know. Because, you know, it would suck to have it. Let's stick these on the end here as well. Nope. Oh, darn it again. Just get rid of these. Get rid of these. Okay. Does this actually have fuel in it? Oh, it has fuel in it. No, I don't want to do these. What about these? Does these have anything? That has fuel in it too. I want ones without fuel. Okay, so this is just a pressurized unit with structural support. There we go. That'll do it. That can be our space station, right? If I can get that on there. There we go. And now I just need to tie all this together with struts. Make myself a string bag. Strut. Strut your stuff. I've never played. The community is friendly. I don't have the... Is there any other ways to buy? Ah, well, I have been... Somebody was talking about prizes, but we're actually running out of prizes. Does anybody out there play EVE Online? Anybody want to do a little... Should we do some competition stuff? I'm looking for... I was going to put up... I have a pile of plexes that I can give away, right? For EVE Online players. Is there anybody wants to answer some trivia questions or something? Oh, actually, that's what I could do, is find out where I am. Oh, la 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 la. Okay. Do you think this is going to land? Okay, does that look like a space station to you? It doesn't look terrible as a space station. Let's use that. Okay, so we need to have... We do need to have a fuel tank on it, though. And we'll probably need RCS. So let's put an RCS tank. Let's put a few RCS tanks in here. We'll use that for station keeping and whatnot. And we will put RCS blocks. RCS blocks. Where is my RCS block? So I'll stick them on here. Oh, I could stick them on the end here. There we go. That'll be my RCS blocks there. A big robotic arm that grabs dragons. Or dragoons or dragons? Dragons. I don't think it's going to fly. Listen, you can make things fly. I'm going to... Right, so that is now the challenge. Somebody has suggested that it will not fly, and therefore it is now my duty to ensure that it does fly. To prove the doubters wrong. How hard can it be? I'm looking for some structural parts. What happened to... No, I'm looking for the adapter plate so that it looks roughly the right size. Oh yeah, do that. Rokomax adapter. Now we're going to need the big-ass rocket tanks. Rockets. Yeah. I don't remember Def Leppard. They were a good band for a while. And then they started to get, like, overproduced, whatever. But it was the 80s. Everything was overproduced. Okay. So, now we're probably going to need some more stuff. Scott, give away keys of KSP or something. $100 and it's yours. Ah, yeah, right. Who thinks Scott... I think my wife thinks Scott's good looking. But, you know, a lot of people might just be persuaded by the voice, let's say. Because, you know, this is America. I'll use the structural pylons, and I'm going to do four of them. I probably don't need this many, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, that'll probably do us. You know what? This is way too much. I'm just going to use smaller ones. I'm going to start with the smaller boosters. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll stick the good old-fashioned aerospike. Oh yeah, no, let's not stick the aerospikes on. Let's just be lazy. How bad can it be, right? Where are... Oh, there's the rocket I'm looking for. Actually, you know, I'm going to use the steerable rockets. And I'm going to stick... Scott, I love your spiral staircase. Can I have it? Apparently, I didn't buy it. It came with the house, but apparently it came out of a fire station. So, if you want one, find a fire station that's getting rid of one. You can't actually build them like this anymore. It's against code. So if you want to fire one of these in your house, you have to violate all sorts of building codes to do so. But the kids always threaten to crack their heads open on it. So it provides hours of entertainment, especially when their friends come over. Okay. How many things do I need to hold this together? Let's just do some cross bracing here. Because this is going to be the thing that wobbles a whole lot. Yeah, let's see how that looks. Okay, so we've got some basic things here. And now I need to... Oh. I need to put these on. Oh, sugar! Okay, there we go. Scott, please check your YouTube inbox for my KSP rocket and take it and land to Eve. I can't really do that right now. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I'll try taking a rocket to Eve, but the problem with taking rockets to Eve is that don't you need to run them all in slow-mo? I don't want to... Okay, let's just try and see if I can get away with the minimal amount of strutting here. I'm going to stick that there. let's see if this space station. Should I have mechanical jab? Thumbs up or thumbs down for mechanical jab? Give me a vote. No! I get a no. Oh shoot, mech jab is my pod! Ah! Okay, I vow not to use mechanical jab though, right? Mechanical jab will be there, but he will only be there watching. He will be tied down and forbidden from actually doing anything. Let me hide all these. And... oh, yeah, I'm going to bring this down here. Let's just see what happens now. Fire up my engines, and go! Oh. Did I... yes! Always the best way to start a launch. Staging failure. Staging failures are always my favorite, because they're, you know... okay, let's restart flight, and... you know what, I probably should fix my staging. Fix my staging in the vehicle assembly building, right? What did I miss? Why does it say 5? Okay, it says there's 5 of these. I don't get it. There's only 4, but it thinks there's 5. Okay, and this needs to go down here. We're gonna launch! Mech Jeb is just a way to kill Jeb over and over again without losing him. Okay. We are go for throttle up. There we go. It's okay so far. See, I'm using the gimballing rocket, so we are steering everything just fine. However, I suspect that without the thrust of these engines, that this main engine is not going to be enough to carry the whole thing. I don't think we're going to get very far. I think we're going to run out of fuel before we reach orbit. But hey, it is a... well, if we get high enough, we can call it a space, almost a space station. It could be an air station. There we go. We're almost about to eject these, and then I don't think there's enough thrust in this main stage to actually counteract the force of gravity. But we'll find out. Ready? 3, 2, 1, bang! Here we go. And my velocity is barely holding constant. So actually, I might be able to get this to orbit. I'm just gonna slip sideways a little. And hopefully I've got enough fuel left. This might be a very slow visit to orbit. I'm definitely going to get ballistic. I'm definitely going to get out of the atmosphere at this rate. Okay. The next danger actually is that I end up pushing my spacecraft into the rest of my spaceship. So I'm just going to kind of follow this over as I'm going to follow over the apoaps. I would love to build a space station with docking, but honestly the docking mods are of dubious reliability, let's say. And the big problem I have with the docking mods is that you put a space station in space, and then what happens is that when you save it, you can't reload that save, otherwise it will just explode. Because it will load the save before the docking mod gets activated. Okay, there we go. Let's look how we're doing here. 42 kilometers. We're doing pretty good, I guess. You know, we might get pretty close to an orbit, but I suspect that we're going to run out of fuel before that happens. Yeah, I mean, I can totally understand wanting to do things right, let's say. Okay, I'm going to cut my thrust now. We're going to get out of the atmosphere, and the question is, can I get up to... oh, you know what? Actually, I'm going to leave just a little bit of thrust going. The idea being that there is actually some directional control coming from this engine. So if I keep it just firing, then it'll help me maintain control. Because we only have this tiny little thing otherwise giving us control. Let's just get the thing parallel. Oh, wait, no, I'm pushing the wrong way. Oh, my goodness. 16. Once I get above 70 kilometers, I'm just going to burn at full speed because I want to kind of circularize my orbit. I have RCS, but why would I use RCS? I'm going to save that fuel for station keeping in orbit. RCS is not necessarily needed when you have giant engines firing. And, yeah, ASAS, not needed unless you are... Actually, it's not needed. It always annoys me people when say, oh, you can't control it, you should have some more SAS or something. Like, no, I shouldn't. That doesn't actually help in any reasonable way. Okay, so I've got to get up to about 2300. And you notice that I'm not firing at full thrust because I don't want this thing to pile forwards. Just gonna hope that I get somewhere close. Let's actually stop at 2250 and see what my orbit's looking like. Okay, 135. I'm gonna cruise up to that now. Okay, once again... Actually, if I burn downwards... My rocket goes off to Eve in one part. Okay, I'm gonna kill my vertical velocity. That's what I'm aiming to do now. Yeah, this thing's totally gonna get into orbit. Look, there we go. I'm just killing my vertical velocity, and this... I want to drop this just a little, but... There we go. I'm just basically circularizing my orbit the hard way. So I'm traveling upwards, and instead I'm just killing my vertical velocity so that I don't get my apoaps too high. There we go. 50 kilometers. Yeah, totally gonna make orbit in this thing, huh? Who was the doubter that said it was gonna crash? Oh wait, that person did in fact say that before the staging accident. They're 99, 96, 95. Oh, there we go. 82 by 93. Let's just burn a little more. Okay. How about that then? Should I probably detach this thing? I didn't use any mech jeb on it. Now, I wonder if I can... What's the best way to do? What's the best way to detach this? Well, I guess I'll just detach it. There, okay. I should have left some mech jeb on that stage, right? There. Look at that! Beautiful, I tell you. So we actually want to have this thing pointing upwards, right? There's mech jeb looking at us. You put my brain into this thing! I will never forgive you! What? This is a space station, it's not supposed to land. Okay. There we go. Actually, I don't need RCS for anything other than the separation. So if I want to change my orbit and whatever, I can do that. Nice, I could even leave it rotating, huh? There, does anyone want to play the Blue Danube? Da da la da da la da da da. Never mind. I think that's pretty good for a first attempt at a space station. I honestly never saw the point in space stations other than the challenge of launching a heavy thing. But it, you know, if you're launching a heavy thing, you might as well be trying to launch a brick, right? Remember there was somebody that came up with the brick challenge, which was like a giant block of granite that you had to put into space. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I'm wondering if I should be, you know, extra vigilant and go and deorbit that other bit of spacecraft. I'm still going upwards. Maybe I could kill my vertical velocity by pushing RN. So I'm going to kill my vertical velocity a little more so that I'm moving in a different direction than this other thing. It would be unfortunate if I were to hit it again. You know, and we're actually using fuel at a not unreasonable rate. Now I wish I had an astronaut. That thing is going in an oncoming lane of space debris. It looks pretty cool if you ask me. So now we have a space station. We've got to send a spaceship up to rendezvous with it, right? Let's go to the space center. I should have put ladders on its side. Yeah. Smorgasbord, it's going to be very hard for me to actually download and do your stuff. I'm sorry. I have an idea. Why don't you make an orbiting piece so you can see it passing through this... Is it passing from the space center? What? An orbit thing? It would take forever to restart KSB. Yeah. If you have a docking port on a space station... Yeah, I know. There's a whole bunch of things we could do. Okay, so what can I use? I could use my dad's rocket, which is actually really well designed. But it doesn't have... What it doesn't have is RCS, right? I think I might want to do that. I'm going to pop this off and stick an RCS tank on. That's the RCS fuel tank. Okay. And we want to attach some of these. So, you know what I think we need is center of mass for RCS tank things. Okay. Put 4 here. Put 4 here. And launch. Okay. Clear the launch pad and proceed. Oh, there's a good one. Land on Juno with the same parts used for the Curiosity lander. Yeah, the problem is with parts is I need to get the parts loaded and it takes forever. Okay, where is the space station? Okay, I'm going to wait for this to come around. As they say, what goes around comes around. We're partway there. Looks like we're going to be launching just around dawn. This first rendezvous with this space station will be a new dawn for Kerbal kind. Okay, let's go. We shall see the dawn during... Oh, no, I don't want to turn over just yet. There's the sun rising just after we launch. Beautiful. Now, this is my dad's design, and it has totally too much thrust for the early atmosphere. To get into space, you have to be very careful not to overdo things early on. It's definitely a lot more sprightly than the other one, but honestly, I don't think I needed quite so much space. It's quite so much vertical velocity, quite so much thrust. What happens when you try to land on Joule? Either you die or you bounce, and bounce, and bounce, and sometimes you die even after bouncing. That is the way things happen. Joule is not a place you're supposed to go. You know, the only thing we've ever sent to actually land... We sent 2 things into Jupiter's atmosphere. One was the Galileo atmosphere probe, which was supposed to go there. And that was part of the initial Galileo mission. And then after the Galileo mission was over, we purposely sent it into the atmosphere of Jupiter to destroy it, in case it ended up... Okay, so this thing is way behind us, so we want to actually get ourselves a little higher. Oh dear, 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 dear. I'm dealing with the same thrust-torque issues. What is the altitude? 91 kilometers, so we want to get this up to about 90-something. At least. So yeah, after the Galileo mission, they threw it into the atmosphere. But the atmosphere probe was really, you know, it went into the atmosphere and took measurements. But it actually went offline before they expected because it was destroyed by heat. And one of the reasons for it was because when it entered, it actually got it suffered something like 250 Gs of force. that in itself was fine because it was designed to deal with it. It had like a graphite heat shield that, you know, ablated as it came through the atmosphere. But its parachute never opened. And the engineers that studied this, they suspect that the parachute never opened because somebody put the G sensor in backwards. I should be able to see this thing. Look at it there, passing by. Oh, man! I need to get up to speed fast. They're running away from me! Okay, so actually I want to... Oh, yep, now we're into this stage. So I want to get up to speed, and I want to get up to speed without getting as high as them. Because I want to be below their orbit and catching up. Just going to keep burning like this. I'm still playing it. How's the desync? Do we have any more audio desync issues? If I snap my fingers, can you hear this? 1600. Needs to go faster. Come on! Catch up with them! Now we're going to burn sideways. This thing is really squirrely because I don't have time to push the shift key. Now I'm going to burn slightly upwards. This is a lot of concentration going on here. Pardon me for not actually making any scintillation conversation. Yeah, NASA has a terrible history of occasionally mounting things backwards. Like the optical rig they used to test the Hubble Space Telescope, one of the mirrors, or one of the lenses in that was mounted backwards, which is why the mirror was misshapen. And yeah, gravity sensor or whatever, G-force sensor, that's not great if you mount that backwards. Okay, so we're 88, they're going on ahead. Wait a second, where am I? Well, I'm right there, and that's my space station. Debris is in a lower orbit. No, I'm in a lower orbit. Okay, so I should now be moving slightly faster than them. Where are they? That's where they're facing. Okay, we're 43 kilometers out. Okay, so I'm going to now time accelerate. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my orbital inclination, and I'm going to wait until we cross with this space station. And then I'm going to adjust my orbital plane. Totally just guessing as to when this happens. I'm hoping that when I come back I'm going to be a little closer. Okay, so now I need to burn south. 180, burn, burn, burn. Burn, burn, burn. Okay, we get the planes mostly aligned, maybe not quite so aligned. Rendezvous are kind of boring to watch, unfortunately. It's 7:20 in the UK. Oh my goodness. I should call my dad and see if he's on. I don't think... It's actually... When I switched from Hangouts to... I'm having trouble figuring out how to get both, multiple people on the Twitch Hangout thing. So forgive me for not having my dad on. I really wanted to do that, but it ain't gonna happen. 84, 85. So these guys, that's a pretty good orbit. It's like totally just on the inside of there. So if I stay, I'll eventually catch up. If I just watch this, I can see it catching up. Moving in very slowly. I can't get him in a Skype call because the audio won't come through. So that's the thing. The Hangouts had a really nice way of conferencing in multiple people. Whereas this does not currently have any reasonable support. I'm thinking of actually doing it using an external mixer. since I have like my DJ setup, I could just bring like a mixer over and have all the audio on the laptop, and I don't know, just do that. But then you wouldn't necessarily see pictures, so I'm just totally guessing as to what I'm doing here. Okay, I think what I need to do now is boost myself into a higher orbit. Okay, that's probably sorted there. Where is the... You know, I could... At this rate, actually, I could probably just burn straight at it and flip around. Here, why don't I just do that? No, he's over there. You see, this is where it would be nice to have a plane cockpit, right? Okay, that's not going to help me either. I want a camera that's attached to the module. Okay, I'm going to just burn. That'll hopefully get me coming in there at a relatively fast pace. And then I want to kill my relative velocity, doing the same thing. And that is actually going to be really hard because I don't know what my relative velocity will be. But I'm getting closer. That thing is for sure. Did anyone count how many seconds I was burning for? I'm just going to look like this and see when it looks like I'm passing. Let's do that now. Okay, so now he's still going downwards relative to me. I'm going to burn down. Does anybody want to talk about anything interesting? I'm concentrating so much on this, I'm feeling that I'm now actually neglecting you people out there. It's actually very hard for me to pay attention or to fly this maneuver while I'm still here. And yeah, it would be nice to have mechanical jab just so I can do all my... Wait a second, 270 is what I wanted. 270. I want to go upwards, actually. Okay. Come on. Yeah, I'm going to burn towards you a little faster, sir. Because apparently I'm not catching up. Of course, I went to the effort of putting RCS on this. Is somebody legitimately telling me out there, moving to the outside takes you forward? You listen, I made those videos. Trust me, I know this stuff. What I'm trying to do is get in faster rather than waiting for the orbit to bring me in. Come on, seriously, you not think I know astronomy? Give me some credit. I'm just trying to do it as quickly as possible, right? Rather than letting the orbit do it. If you go to the outside, then yes, you will catch it up, but the closer you get, the closer your orbits are matched, the slower the rendezvous is. So I am just going to do this in straight up approach style, right? Which means I'm going to kind of sit and watch this, and then burn to stop my velocity. And burn a little more. Oh, look at that, huh? I want to kill this vertical velocity. Okay. And I'm going to travel backwards a little like this. Okay, time for RCS for the final maneuvers. Actually, what I want to do is I'm going to point forwards along my orbit. I'm going to hit the T button to stabilize. Turn on RC. Oh, I'm going to rotate as well to this orientation. Okay, hold that. Hold that thought, sir. Okay. So, this is 39 meters. Nope. I want to do that. There. Just gonna... Fortunately, I have to keep the mouse over things. We're just going to come in really close here. You want to know what BDS... Hey, listen, you know I'm called Scott Manley, right? And I DJ. For a while, my DJ name was DJ S&M because it was less likely to be thought of as a gay porn night. Trust me. I know what that means. I had a reputation, let us say. It's looking good. Oh, wrong thing, wrong button. There we are. Flying alongside our space station. That is a beautiful view if you ask me. I mean, how awesome is that? We could probably go after that other thing. And have I watched the Orionids meteor shower? There was a giant fireball apparently over the Bay Area last week. I like how Mike Jeb is still looking at me even though I'm not flying it. There was a giant fireball on like Thursday night or something, and it happened at 7:45. And at the time, I was in a restaurant with my son Orion and his friend Orion, and we missed this, meteor supposedly from the Orionids. Like, come on! What are the odds of that? Okay. Well, we'll just leave that. If I save it now, it's probably gonna... Got Steam. What do you mean, got Steam? Of course I've got Steam. I've got plenty of Steam. I have a lot of games on Steam. I actually had games to give away on Steam. We never did get around to the EVE Online thing. No, I don't speak Portuguese, I'm sorry. But I do like Brazilian food and Portuguese food, and I do know people. Yeah, no, I don't speak Portuguese. I'm sorry. The manga... Right, so there's other... Who plays EVE? You want to... I could fire up EVE. I know I'm drifting away. I can't hold still. Let's bring up some EVE. Right? Pardon me. I don't know what I'm going to do in EVE. I honestly don't... Actually, I was thinking I'd love to eviate... I can't go into the station. Look, here. I can EVA to the station. Hold on, right. Look. EVA. Let go. You can go in and perform some maintenance on it. Hello? Jeb, are you in there? Are you in there? I found out what happened to your body. Yeah. What's that movie? Source Code? That's the one where the guy is like in the time manipulation, quantum manipulation machine thing, and he's there. Okay. Oh dear, 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 dear. It looks pretty cool, actually. Now, where's my spacecraft? I'm gonna get back in my spacecraft, seriously. You'll forgive me that I have to actually look to the left to actually read any of your text, which makes it very hard for me to keep up with what's going on in the channel. Whoa. Bored, yes. Yes, they were. Duncan, yes, you're absolutely right. His name was originally Zowie Bowie. And, yeah, apparently he really got into films on the set of, when he was on the set of the movie Labyrinth. Does anyone remember that? Oh my god, Deep Core is wait a second. The Core, no, Deep Core, yeah. Is that an Asylum movie? Okay, who am I going to fly with? I have... Pardon me. I am going to set up video capture now. Oh, you know what? I can't change the capture. Hold on. Do I do that? I guess I can do that. Yeah, that's not going to work. But screen share... and say screen share Eve. I guess I can take out Orion. I don't know what he's doing. He's sitting in Jita. Is Eve Online very complicated? Is it worth the time and money and effort? That is a very good question. Oh, and apparently, so this is a new setup. I do not have... Oh yes, allow access. Pardon me. So I am sitting in Jita right now in my Orca. And yeah, I have Kanye West here. This avatar was actually designed by Orion, believe it or not. What's spaceship? I don't know. I haven't logged in with this guy in a while. What has he got? Oh, look, he is flying his Orca. Yes, I'm sorry, there is no run button here. Wait, maybe I could put some sound on now. Nope. Oh yeah, we're playing the audio, the music. Cool. What other spacecraft do I have in my inventory? Inventory. EVE Online costs about $15 a month. Okay, I have a Drake here, and I have a... Oh, I have a one of these. Yeah, this is a pretty good ship, I think. Man, okay, let's get rid of... Let's take a look at how this is fit. Oh no, I want to board this. Make active. Oh yes, look, I literally reinstalled this game, so everything is not quite the way I expect. What have I got here? I have ammunition. I don't care about your tutorials. Gyro stabilizers, cap rechargers, and it still depletes. Okay, let's dump some stuff here. I don't need any of these things right now. Oh yeah, changed inventory system. I forgot about that. Since I reinstalled it, everything is in the wrong place. That's my minor problem. Okay, so we'll throw this down here. I said, I'm going to throw this down here. There we go. Cap recharger 2, armor repairer, we get some explosive plating and things like that. Okay. And do I have some decent ammunition? I've got some barrage and whatever. Yeah, let's take this sucker out. Let's undock. Oh, look, there's my magnificent vehicle there. For what? Guess how fast it was going. I've managed to escape the sun Kerbal with as... Oh, what do you mean? No, World of Warcraft has way more actual content. But EVE actually just has bigger battles. It's all player-generated content. Okay, what's going on here? Look, this is outside Jita. Here we go. So look at that. This is all players that are hanging around on the Jita undock, right? And one thing about EVE versus Kerbal Space Program is that Oh, I've only got a Tech 1 afterburner. What the hell? The right button is what moves the camera in Kerbal, and the left button is what moves it in Eve, so I get forever confused as to why I'm not turning my camera. Ooh. What was that? Somebody was shooting at each other. Oh, somebody just sinoed out. Let's just take a look and see what's going on here. I bet there's nothing. They think that cargo container is entirely there so that people can kill you. So you see what's going on here is a bunch of people hanging around on the undock. Sometimes they're just waiting for spacecraft that are full of cargo that they can kill. Other times they're waiting for legitimate war targets. So anyway, let's go to a neighboring system. Let's go here. I'm just going to warp off. Warp drive active. And I'm bouncing off the station. That was a really bad plan. For someone that has played Eve as much as me, you'd think I wouldn't be bouncing off the station. Ha! Left button, right button. I can't mess it up. Yeah, these guys are repairing each other. Okay, there we go. Just play some private servers for fun. Haven't I set what game I'm playing? No, I haven't set what game I'm playing. I'm brand new to Twitch TV and I don't really know how to do these things. So I'm just kind of flying around and doing my thing. So this is a Tech 2 frigate. It's called a Wolf. Basically is a small-ish spacecraft, and by small I mean it's the size of a jumbo jet. And it has a small crew, and it will kill lots of things very easily. I'm just going to see... Okay, maybe there's something going on here. Is there... These things are probably all taken. Let's go and take a zip through the asteroid belts and see if there's anything. Am I a proficient NetHack player? Actually, I have played NetHack for many, many hours, and I have even given into the temptation of save scumming, and I have not yet ascended. I have read the spoilers repeatedly, and I have not yet ascended. So I'm terrible. I have beaten several variants of Rogue, but I love NetHack. I mean, I dearly love the way so many things can be interacted with in NetHack. I like the fact that you can look in a mirror and you see an ugly mug. I mean, it's like... I love the potion identification system. Okay. No one's here. I'm just looking around. I don't know what I'm looking for. What am I... GTR Usler, if you look in my YouTube channel, there is, in fact... a video where I demonstrate my new computer, so go there. As for Eve, I have some very old computers that still run it. I have a computer that was built in 2005, and it still runs Eve pretty well. Oh look, here's a spacecraft. I can shoot this dude. Let's go and track him down. Look at lock target. Actually, let me turn on the advanced camera menu, and we'll do set as interest, and this will be, let's set this as parent. So we're watching these guys fly around. Set as reset camera. Orbit 1000. Why can't we target this dude? I said target. And there we go. So this is a bad guy. He's going to shoot at me, and he'll be completely ineffectual. Look at him go there. I suppose I can fire my missile at him. I'll just fire my one missile because he's so wimpy. I could autocan him to death, but I'm really liking the new missile effects. Look at him go. So these are your, up here's your shield and everything. I'm not even using my main... this game have these features? Yes, you can actually build space stations and everything. You can build space stations, you can... Oh, there, look, there's some loot in this. I find it terrible that despite having over 200 billion in assets, I can't resist looking in Rex. Well, it doesn't, you know, it does require a credit card, but I haven't used a credit card in years. Oh, look, I just get metal scraps. Okay. Rapid assembly. Who do we have? I'm just not sure what to do. I'm not going to PvP because I don't think I have... If I PvP on a live stream, everyone's going to come looking for me, so it's kind of pointless. Now we're going to warp to the station and see if there's some missions. Show us some battles. Yeah, I could... oh, I know what. I've got a maelstrom. Let me search. Search for a maelstrom. Oh, Mocha. That's a fair... That's 8 jumps out, though. Play Minecraft. Jeb says I should play Minecraft. Skykey... I don't... I could play Minecraft, but it would be very boring. Let's see if there's an agents here that I can talk to. Available to... Oh, this is a mining agent. Screw that. Let me find an agent that I can talk to. YouTube stream is broken. I'm going to end broadcast then. I don't know why the YouTube thing has been broken. Look, there's G-Frog in a slasher. And there's someone in a Fenrir. What I need is... Where is the agent finder? I don't know where they keep the agent finder anymore. I'm going to dock again. So here's the other thing, is that I'm using something called F-split, which is not X-split. And if I want to change the screen that I'm capping from, it requires that I reload. Now let me hit Agent Finder. I'm going to see if there's someone nearby that I can... I want to find filter options. I want to find Annie. Go on, come on. Only show available. And it's thinking really hard. Oh yeah, I Twitch dashboard. That would... Yeah. If I go to my Twitch dashboard, I will lose this chat. He says mining, mining, mining. Security! Okay, set destination. Let's see what the security agent does for me. Factional warfare is what everyone's doing. Yeah, I don't think you want to be mining and marketing. Look, seriously, if somebody wants to learn to play Eve, I would love to show you guys how, like, give you advice or whatever. I'd love to do that as a live stream. Okay, guys, you have a good stream. You have a good night or whatever. It's actually getting pretty late here. Oh, man, I keep turning with the left button. Right button. Left button. I could just go into low-sec factional warfare space. Hands up who's gay. I know a lot of gay people, but I'm very manly as well. I could try and find red versus... See, here's the thing. I should find a red versus blue engagement and just join that. But I'm just gonna run a mission, right? So missions are ways to make money. So I'm gonna talk to this dude. It's just a level 2 mission. Request mission. And he says, go, and I'm gonna fight the blockade. Okay, excellent. I'm gonna do the blockade in this frigate, and I'm probably gonna die. Scott Manley. Yeah, nothing. Listen, seriously, quit with the gay talk because we are. I do live in Bay Area, and you know, it is not cool. Oh, look, I can actually warp to this mission. Warp to the location. Ah! And you know what? The other thing is, I think the mouse wheel is mapped the reverse. I've never played League of Legends or Defense of the Ancients. I'm sorry. I had a Dota 2 code and I gave it away in exchange for another item. Yeah. Come on. Okay, so we gotta kill this stasis tower first. So I'm gonna accelerate, get in close. Oh shoot, this thing is... What have I got here? Barrage. I need range here. Come on! Okay, so these guys are what's happening is this tower is basically screwing with my speed. So I'm trying to get in as close to it as possible. That's okay. This is the shields going down, but I have armor on this, so I'm just going to fire up my armor repairing. Okay. But I might have to bug out here because I do not have... Oh, come on! So what's happening is I've got a spaceship that's really designed around speed, and they have a tower that is webbing me and therefore slowing me down, which is going to basically mean my speed is not good. Oh, there, okay, so now I'm going to pick up speed, and so if I can just pull some range on these guys, I will be golden. A module has run out of charges, yes, but I have not. So now I'm going to try and get some range on these guys so that they can't hit me so well, and then I'm just going to fly in and pick them off one at a time. So now we've got some range. The Demolisher is the one to go for. So this is my armor repair system, and it's basically going at full speed, trying to get me, keep me alive. And I'm just trying to stay alive long enough that I can turn off my armor repair system. And so now I'm like 30 kilometers out. I'm just gonna... They're missing me. They can't hit me at this range. I should have overheated my armor repair system, shouldn't I? Okay. So you see that my shield is recovering, even though there's no repairs on it. Okay, so let's go in full speed and kill these dudes. So I'm using a special type of ammunition called Barrage, which is Tech 2 autocannon ammunition. It's basically extra long range. And it's the best thing for shooting some of these things sometimes. So here we go. Guns firing. Nice! Nice! Okay, get rid of these guys, because they are the next ones. Ha 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 ha! You cannot hit me anymore! Of course, the ammunition probably costs more than the spaceships that I'm killing. Aren't you glad I didn't show you mining? Does this game have a Death Star? No, it has things called Titans. Titans are giant spaceships that are like 30 kilometers long. They are only made by players, right? You have to be a player to fly a Titan. And they basically cause 2 million hit points of damage and will pretty much kill they'll kill any capital ship in practically one hit. Technically, it's possible to survive more, but mostly you're only going to survive one hit. To buy a Titan in US dollars costs something like $3,000 or $4,000. Easily. It's like 60 billion ISK. And there's quite a lot of them now. It used to be that seeing one Titan was big news. Now, when we were fighting in a couple of regions, I mean, we saw fleets with 20 enemy Titans sometimes. So, Titans are basically the Death Star, and they're also highly comical, because when they die, people really do get mad. I mean, you want to see rage, you want to see people losing a Titan. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to switch my ammunition to... what am I going to do? Okay, I'm going to switch to fusion. I thought fusion is not the best thing. How do you earn money? Well, these guys, I'm going to get 37,000 credits from shooting these dudes. If your Titan is destroyed, it is destroyed. It never comes back. Right? That's it. When your spaceship is destroyed, you have to buy another one. When your ship is destroyed, you end up ejecting in a pod, and the pod can be flown like another spaceship. So you can go back to a space station, unless, of course, you're caught. If you're caught, then you will get podded. And if you're podded, what happens is they basically beam your brain into a new clone body. So there's no permadeath in the game, but if you make a mistake, you can end up losing skill points, which can actually be a big issue, because the only way to gain skills is to train in real time. Okay, we want to get the barrage back on. Pitham Demolisher, getting these dudes. And I'm going to turn this off again. Here we go. So I'm using autocannons. They're like machine guns, basically. Different races have different things. These guys have railguns and missiles as their primary weapon systems. Whereas Amarians use lasers, for example. So it's not all lasers, even though it's high tech. What? Yes, you can really lose a $3,000 spacecraft. I have maybe more than that, actually. But yeah, I have a lot. And most of it I made through trading. There's a very, very good trading system in the game. It's very effective. You know what? I'm going to orbit this dude. Target him. Okay, I should really kill these guys. So what I'm trying to do is, there's a big spaceship here. This guy's a big spaceship, and I'm basically moving very close to him and flying around him so he can't hit me. That's the plan. Oh yeah, I need to restart this, yeah. So I'm minimizing my damage by zipping around him. Eve has a crazy economy. I mean, it is... There are people that study Eve's economy, basically. Oh, no, I don't want to shoot that. I want to shoot this. There we go. Seta's interest. So there, we're flying around him. We can see these things bouncing off him. Oh, what the deuce? Okay. Do you like MMOs? So I realized that I have an addictive personality, and I had to stay away from MMOs. And it was only like, I don't know why I ended up playing Eve, because as I predicted, I got totally addicted to the game. So yes, I like MMOs, but for my own safety, I have to avoid playing them. Eve at least was something. Oh look, these dudes are jamming me. So that means they're cutting off my targeting systems. Come on! I need to get jamming back. Jamming means that you can't target them back. It's a big problem, and it's very annoying. I'm gonna kill this dude first. Okay, Now, these guys that are called dire dudes, they're the ones that are doing the jamming, so I'm going to prioritize them. Although, now I think about it, maybe I should prioritize the guys that actually do lots of damage to me. Okay. So I'm flying straight into them. When will you go back to KSP? I will go back to KSP after I've killed these dudes, right? Because I just wanted to play some EVE Online and show people. This is not making me any money at all. As I said, most of my money now comes from market trading. I'm really starting to take some damage here. Come on! This dude is going to die next. Unless he jams me, in which case I will be extremely annoyed. NASA, let's talk about it, Scott. What? What about NASA? Are you talking about the clothing label or the... Oh, you bastard! Okay. They are jamming me again. So I'm flying out of range while I'm trying to keep my shield, my armor intact. Come on! Oh, there's like 3 more guys. These are... You know, I should probably kill these guys as well. Okay. Let's reload with barrage ammunition. How much can you make on a good trade? Literally, you can make millions. So, a lot of people assume that when they sell stuff, that they're selling stuff on the NPC market. No, they're actually selling it to other players. There's practically no NPC market in the game. It's all players driving everything, except for a few very small items. And those are getting fewer and fewer because they were exploited for, you know, cash. I myself made 20 billion-isk from what was it? I made 20 billion-isk from Pax Amaria. Oh, you... Damn it again. Okay. So I'm once again flying through this cloud of bad guys. And I am jammed for at least the next 5 seconds. I'm hoping that I will get... No, I'm jammed for another 17 seconds. I'm just going to keep traveling like this. This is not what I wanted. Come on! Oh, there, I got a lock! Got a lock! Okay, you are gonna die. And you are gonna be what I orbit. Okay, you're gonna die now. So the anarchists have a lot more damage. Oh, damn it. Okay, I'm gonna fly out again. Yeah, your dad? What's your dad's name? I had 4 accounts for a while, but I kind of gave up with the 4 accounts just because I realized I was only using them to send buddy invites. Speaking of which, if anybody wants buddy invites, I can help you out. I can probably get you free time in the game. Hit me up on YouTube, tell us that you saw this on the stream. Okay, now we're going to go back in again. See, this is the thing. When you're flying frigates, you're really trying to keep on the move. Oh, I'm getting jammed again. I'm trying to keep myself alive. And so the thing in the middle here is my capacitor, and that is like magical energy, right? I need that to run things, and if I run out of energy, then I can't repair myself, for example. Okay, so these guys are doing most of my damage, just most of the damage to me. I'm gonna orbit this guy, target them. Next, start up that. Oh, he's jamming me again! God! Crikey! This is so unfair! Yeah, 95% of the players are indeed male. Come on, give me some love here. Oh, I'm really getting concerned that these guys are just taking all my time, and the other group is getting closer. Also, I'm starting to run out of energy. So if I run out of energy, I will slow down because my afterburner will go offline. Okay, so I'm going to go this way now. And hopefully... Like, there, the jamming's happening again. A module has run out of charges. Yes, of course it has. It is 5%. There are girls who play EVE Online. There's well, Minxie was actually famous for a while, and she was head of the CSM. What is my work, and where's my work, and how is your work day? I work in a tech company, and I do computational linguistics, which is a fancy way of saying I analyze text. I write stuff to analyze text. And if you look at election.twitter.com, they're using my code. Although I work at a company called Topsy, I'll make that clear. I've been following the presidential elections with data analysis tools that I've been writing, on a daily basis. And it's been really interesting to see how the world works, let's say. Okay, I've got these guys have to die. Mint Chip, she's kind of got famous, but yeah, I don't know. She's okay. I mean, you should check this game out for future video streams, yeah. I've also got Starfarer to play as well at some point. I really want to complete this mission because I started it, but I've picked a ship that is totally inadequate for the task. I thought, it'll be more exciting if I pick something that's poorly designed for it. It's just like it's more exciting to watch spacecraft die and blow up in Kerbal Space Program. I figured it'd be more interesting to watch a mission where I was, would have a hard time. Oh, 19 seconds? You have got to be kidding. Okay, let's start the reps again. 10 seconds till I can get a lock. Yeah, there's a lot of issues with American politics. No, it's still locked out again. Oh, because I'm getting jammed, I can't lock on. Because I can't lock on, I can't kill the guys that are jamming me. And so the cycle of jams continues. Okay, I'm going to need to pull out again because I don't have... What? What? What is... At least I'm not Obama, and Obama is lie. At least I'm Omni-like. What? That is... How many people are talking? Yeah, well, there's a lot of things being taken out of context. That is just the whole... It makes things very hard. At least I'm not Obama, huh? I like the enemy pilots are just as frustrated. Yeah, well, they can't kill me because I'm a badass. I'm Kanye West, right? I'm harder, faster, better. What is that song that he does? Okay, I'm coming back in a second. Come on, give me a lock on. For just long enough to kill one of you. Part of the problem is there's 3 of them. It's not just that there's 1 of them, there's 3 of them. Keep at range 30. I'm going to orbit them. Oh, wow, wait, they're hitting me at this range. I can see icons on the side showing me that who's jamming me. I just need one. I need both of them to break. Oh, there we go. Come on, come on, come on. This is the dude. He has to die. He has to die. See, if I was right on top of him at that time, I would have been better placed. Oh no, the jams come back. Jams come back. No, you want to see communism these days, look at Vietnam. They're the ones that are making all the underwear you're wearing. Oh yeah, Romney, well, the problem I have with Romney is that he says one thing when he was wanted to be governor of Massachusetts, and he says another thing now that he wants to be president. And so which one's the real Romney, right? Which one are you voting for? You know, is it more likely that he's lying to be president or lying to be governor? And the problem with Obama is that he hasn't delivered on many of the promises and, you know, whatever. But, I'm not going to tell you which way I would go. Because it doesn't actually matter, because I can't vote, and even if I could vote, I'm in California. And California is not a swing state by any means. As I said, there are many people who will vote for... there are people who were supporting Ron Paul who will now vote for Obama rather than Romney. I mean, that's how we roll. North Korea is not a great example of communism. North Korea is an example of a corrupt regime, a corrupt dictatorship. Communism, the problem is that it sets itself up in such a way that it's very easy to corrupt. But then again, so does capitalism. Since we have problems with the banks realizing that they have to just get really, really, really big. And then once they're really, really, really big, they'll get bailed out. Okay, now I've got rid of the jamming, I shall go for the destroyers. The destroyers are these guys. I'm going to look at them. So that's him. He has 8 railguns or whatever. And he is going to die next. The quantum... Oh yeah, the quantum theory of Mitt Romney basically is that as soon as you... He could be both things at once, and he will collapse into one state or another. Yeah, I don't... Honestly, I think Ron Paul is not... I mean, he has a number of things... I think with all candidates, it's like, well, he has a number of things I like and a number of things that are just wrong. Ron Paul is definitely wrong when it comes to the whole gold standard thing. I don't think he appreciates how much power the current Federal Reserve System actually gives the US. The ability for the US to continue to print its own money really matters a whole lot in the world. Okay, I'm gonna get an orbit around this dude. This mission is almost over! My job is I'm a computer coder, and I code computational linguistics analysis stuff. Here we go. So that's this spaceship. One of the ugliest spaceships in the game. It looks like an Osprey, which is a type of spacecraft that you can fly. Oh man, there's another rack of them. Okay, I gotta get right in on top of these bastards and kill them right away before they start jamming me. Full speed ahead! Damn the torpedoes! Full speed ahead! That's a famous quote from the Civil War by Admiral Glasgow, which I find interesting because, of course, Glasgow is a place in Scotland. A torpedo at that time was actually a mine, just so you know. It wasn't actually a torpedo. Okay. I'm gonna orbit this guy. Okay, the main problem here again will be these guys will start jamming me momentarily. Come on! I'm probably using the wrong kind of ammunition and everything as well, but that's how it rolls. My opinion on the a big problem with the US is the electoral college is you should go out and read about election theory. This was the Marquis de Concordat in like the 17th century, I think. He basically took mathematics and applied it to elections, and he basically proved that any election system based on simply counting votes is always going to lead to a two-party system, and therefore any system that is just based on counting votes is flawed. So you have to come into something called a preferential system, or a ranked choice system is how it's better known. And if you don't have a ranked choice system, you will always end up with basically two parties. Without that, with two parties, you know, your system basically becomes beneficial for the two parties to collude to maintain their position, and that causes all sorts of problems for democracy. So you need to start looking at systems that are more advanced, let's say. The electoral college is less of a problem than simply the fact that the Constitution doesn't allow an election system that isn't based on one man, one vote. That's really, you know, that's where that comes from. I'm not sure how you fix it, because the people that would most like to fix it are the third parties, including the libertarians. And the libertarians are probably too attached to the Constitution to really want to change the election system. But maybe there are libertarians who would support ranked choice voting. So I'm not 100% clear on that. Don't quote me on it. But yeah, the people in power have no incentive to change it away from that. So yeah, I don't know what will happen, how that will ever change. You know, the last time a party... There were three parties at a time around the end of the Civil War, but you know, since then there's not the Democrats or the Republicans basically replaced the Dixiecrats or whatever. Anyway, I'm not an expert on this by any means. I just do text analysis, and yes, I do know about mathematics, so I understand election theory. I thought I worked. No, I don't work at NASA. This is a common rumor. No, I studied astronomy. I did over a decade. I did several years of research, but research only pays so well. And in my spare time, I almost wrote. I basically wrote an internet radio system. And then when the whole .com thing happened, I was headhunted to work for an internet music company. And so that's what happened. I got basically recruited out of that and became a software engineer. And I actually quite enjoyed it, so, you know, that's what happens. You're going to Duna. Okay. I'm going to kill this. Now, this is maybe a bad idea to kill this. Maybe I should kill the other things first. I'm going to kill the other things first. I swear this mission will be over soon. This is actually one of the harder level 2 missions. Let's take a look at him. He's gonna die. Nice. Let's take a look at him, set his interest. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn off my repair system. Set his interest. Ooh, nope. Okay, come on. Get in range. Okay, he's going to get in range there. Okay. We're going to hopefully get in close enough to actually shoot this thing. Do level 5 missions. Like, honestly, forget about level 5. Everyone is doing factional warfare missions right now. Factional warfare is basically PvP missions where ostensibly they're supposed to be PvP missions, but because they're so lucrative, it's like a turkey shoot out there right now. I can't do that because I'm stuck in a corporation where I can't leave because I'm essentially the CEO. Okay. Yeah, the level 5 missions are kind of like... Does it have orbital physics? No, you can't crash into planets, and you can actually bounce off suns, but that's about it. The physics engine is very limited. It's more like submarines in space. Planets, you can set up bases on planets, and you can have your people mine stuff for you. But you can't... what's it? Sorry, I'm just trying to get this. There we go. You can basically look at... Oh, so yeah, the walking around on planets thing is the PlayStation 3 shooter called Dust. And that's basically going to be a first-person shooter where people on the ground capture objectives for corporations in space. Oh my god, there's another group of them. But at least there's no jammers this time. Okay. Full speed ahead. Love those engine trails. So Eve looks like does have a pretty brilliant... Tell us about your childhood. What is this, therapy? Yes, people do need to be strongly encouraged. I used to be very strongly libertarian. I've unfortunately... I've changed a lot, let's say. I used to be very conservative, and then I used to move to the US and then realized that the conservatives were all trying to recruit... They were basically trying to pander to hardcore fundamentalist Christians, and that really caused problems for me from a political standpoint. I didn't like that. So I moved away from the traditional, out from what would have been my traditional identification. And yeah, that's what happened there. I don't like religion and politics being mixed. I've seen too many problems with that in my years. There we go. Okay, this has to be the last wave. Oh, Pegasus, I think we're on a very similar wavelength. Okay. This is a very boring mission, I have to say. Okay. I think... Oh no, I'm using depleted uranium. That's why I'm having such a hard time. I switched to the wrong ammo type. Oh... There's a lot of places where religion and politics are too strongly mixed. And Iran is less so than it used to be, let's say. And then you have, like, the North Korea, where the religion is the politics. Oh god, Saudi Arabia, like... Saudi Arabia, well, I'm not going to cause any complaints. It's a UFO, throw the cheese. Descending a salvage... Yeah, it doesn't lead a huge amount, but yeah, you can totally come back and salvage it, but I'm not gonna because it's rather boring. Yeah, all these wrecks on the side of the screen, you can basically mine them, or not mine them, you can go in and find contents in them. Let's just take a look at this one. So the ones that are full contain items, the ones that are empty don't contain items, but you can still salvage the wrecks for bits and pieces. What have we got here? Oh look, we've got some thorium charge and a targeting thing. Yeah, let's move that in there. And then let's warp back to the station. That was a really terrible, long, boring... Way too complicated. Listen, way too complicated. My daughter, when she was 4 years old, was able to fly a spacecraft, right? Seriously, it's rather easy. It's just, there's a lot to keep in. Every single part of Eve is simple. The problem is there's a lot of moving parts. I love the show Firefly. Mr. Gherkin, the show Firefly was one of the most amazing pieces of TV, and it is tragic that it is so short. But then again, maybe it would have jumped the shark if it had been around longer. So therefore... Yeah, you gotta be careful with the taxes thing, seriously, because if you let that... Like, the universal healthcare thing, it becomes a big issue, because everyone has... Healthcare is not like any other market, because you will pay whatever you can to stay alive. And... so it doesn't function like a correct market. Therefore, anyone that claims that you can just have a straight-up market for healthcare is delusional. Plus, you have the, what happens if the person comes in and doesn't have insurance? You say, we'll let them die, Well, what happens if someone beats you up and steals your ID and burns you up? You don't have any ID, you don't have any way of proving that you have insurance. They're just going to let you die? Well, of course you don't want that. Okay, fly safe. What shall I do now? Quit the game. Oh yeah, I've quit the game. I've got to change... The overlay needs to be this again. What shall I do with this space station? Shall I just leave it in orbit right now? Let's go back to the Space Center. What's going on in here? Kerbal? Yeah, we're doing some Kerbal. We're back to doing some Kerbal. Have you seen the spacecraft? Oh, no, I didn't mean to do that. You seen this rover? Actually, let's just take a look at the rover. Look back. I found this mod, and it's pretty neat. I like it. Moon rover. Fly. Bat Boy, there's a lot of... See, here's the thing. There's a lot of... Wait a second. That's not the one. Space Center. There's a federal requirement that if someone needs emergency care, you can't deny them it, but there's a lot of things that will kill you if you haven't had... Landed at the moon. There we go. There's a lot of things that will kill you even without emergency care. I studied orbital mechanics. Yes, I did. We specifically studied the... Oh, here we go. I studied how asteroids behave. There we go. I'm going to take this to the South Pole. That's where I was going. Why? Why not? It crashed a little, so I lost part of my thing, so I now have the pickup truck version. But I kind of like the look of this thing. I wonder if I could open the hatch. See, I like that. You can open the hatch and see inside. Hello! And there's, yeah. Apparently, the guy that designed this thinks that Kerbals are xenophiles. Because they have pictures of human ladies in suggestive poses. There is no asteroid which will hit Earth in the next decade, trust me. That's my take on that. There are occasionally things that we're not sure about and we need to get more data. We have one that will pass close by us in 2038 or thereabouts. And depending upon where it passes, it could hit us on the next pass around. And we don't know, because what happens is when one orbit passes near another, the space is highly divergent, right? Which means the orbit can change a lot. It's very chaotic. So while we can predict that it will pass Earth at a certain date at a certain time to within a fraction of a second, we don't know it close enough to actually know whether that will kick the orbit into another one, which will result in it crashing into Earth. So Yeah. Right now we don't have any that are going to hit us for sure, but every now and then we do get ones which we're not sure about. There was a interesting one a while back where an asteroid was observed for a couple of days and then lost. And based upon the observations that we had, there were solutions that put it as a possible Earth collider. And so there was a bit of hand-wringing and concern, and in a discussion, I came up with the idea with Duncan Steele of saying, hey, well, let's assume that it is going to hit the Earth. Let's go out and look at those locations and get that information. He thought that was a great idea, but we didn't have observational people. And, we had some other discussions in public about it. Somebody else did it, but they didn't do it because I told them to. It just happened to be coincidental because it was a good idea. But I was kind of happy that Duncan Steele, he went and stood, he went out on a limb and said, oh yes, Scott Manley had that idea. Yeah, I wonder how fast this thing can go. We're going up 24, 25. How fast before this falls over? You shouldn't build a meteor bunker. Does it work realistically on other bodies? No, our Acer Hero, no, it doesn't work realistically, but it works realistically enough for most people. There's only a handful of people that could really exploit proper N-body. I might, but it would be really, really hard. So it's probably good enough for most people. If it did it properly, then Minmus would not be on the most stable of orbits. 38 meters per second, that's pretty good. This thing's really motoring. So to get that speed in kilometers or miles per hour, multiply it by something like 2.5, I guess. So that's like 100 miles an hour. No! 6-pack, shut up! N-body problem is not hard in games, right? Trust me, we can do N-body in real time. Please stop spreading that myth. I used to write simulations of N-bodies on computers 15 years ago, and they would run at hundreds of thousands of times real speed. In that time, we've had computers that have got faster by a factor of 1,000. Trust me, computers are fast enough to do real-time N-body, right? Please, anybody, whenever you hear anybody telling you that Kerbal Space Program can't do N-body because computers are too slow, they're talking through a hole in their head, right? The reason Kerbal Space Program doesn't do it is because patched conics gets you 90% of the way there. Okay. Patched conics gets you 90% of the way there, basically, and it doesn't give you anything much more if you don't have it. Oh, dear. Breakdancing. Probe. Does anybody know what cart this actually is? The thing that's stopping the devs doing N-body is the fact that nobody cares about N-body except for me. Seriously. Like, the number of people that N-body would make a difference for is vanishingly small. And the amount of development effort they'd have to put into it is not consistent with the amount of work they'd have to... the reward, right? Why would you have somebody work for even a day for a feature that only, a handful of people would actually care about? Even Orbiter doesn't do proper N-body, although it can. It doesn't do N-body for the asteroids and everything. Oh, there we go. I don't know where we are on the moon. I guess I'm getting a good way south. But, yeah, what else can we do? Let's, let's break and then go back to the Space Center. Oh! So one thing I realized, remember I built that really tiny rocket? Remember I built that really, really tiny rocket with just the command pod, this, and an engine. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, it turns out N-body is the generalized way of doing math for things. N-body is where you model the gravitational interactions of everything. was that? Did anyone see what that was? N-body is basically how you model gravity for large numbers of things, and the way you do it is you add up all the forces and step your equations forward. It was standing up because the collision box for this is a cylinder. I can land this as well. In fact, I'm going to take this to Minmus. Right? I'm going to take this to Minmus and land it. Wait a second, I should be turning over yet. I gotta get higher. Oh, wasting fuel. It was a fuel tank. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the collision boxes for these things aren't actually consistent with their appearance, let's say. I should do some time accelerated physics here. Times 2 at the very least. More stuff to do in planets. You know what I would like to see? In my dreams, there would be some campaign thing where you are basically tracking down these anomalies, and when you track down enough of them, you can ship them back to Kerbin for analysis. And if you get enough, it starts sending a signal which calls in like a big spaceship or something that you get to see. I'd really like to see Rama from the book Rendezvous with Rama, which is essentially a rotating spaceship where it uses centripetal force to keep everything on the exterior, essentially. So flying in a rotating system like that would be interesting, I guess. I don't know, that would just be an idea. Okay, how are we doing for altitude? 35 kilometers. I'm just getting up to altitude now. Where am I going? Minmus is nowhere near where I need it to be. So I'm going to have to go into a proper orbit here. The community said there was going to be multiple solar systems. That's... did he? He said it was going to be faster than light, and he said there was going to be 40 plus planets. He said it was going to double the number of planets. I don't think they said other solar systems, but... we can replay the recording from last night. We had him on last night. So, because it's nice to have people on. Okay, 74 kilometers. I'm just gonna... Oh my goodness, this thing becomes impossible to steer when you're at ×4 acceleration. As long as I'm not trying to land this. It'd been really nice if I timed this right so I could just go straight into an orb. Okay, okay. Now I gotta burn. Okay. There we go. Just get up to speed. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's not bad orbit. So now I need to wait for Minmus to come into position. So Minmus is there. Wait, is that Minmus? That's Minmus. And I am here. So I gotta do time acceleration to bring it around. I should do something with Kurt. Sure, you know, he plays Minecraft a lot. See, the thing is, I love Minecraft, but I don't play it with mods, and you know, I've played through it, but I don't make a very interesting game. I don't think I make a very interesting things because Minecraft. It's not like I'm an expert on astronomy, not geology, right? Okay, it should be rising over the horizon. There it is. There, it's a tiny twinkling star in the middle. So let us get on course for our injection. How much fuel? I've got 437.2. So actually, with this fuel, I can get all the way to Eve, but I can't return, and also the phase angles are wrong. So I'm not gonna try that today. Oh, wow! This thing has plenty of thrust. It's nice to know. And oh, that's the moon. I don't want to land on the moon. Okay, Minmus is 46. This is 45. Oh, okay, totally overshot now. Thank you. Have they fixed Minmus surface? To define fixed, what would need fixed about Minmus surface? Are you talking about Gilly? Is that what you're meaning? Because Gilly has broken surface. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder where you are. Okay, we're out to here. Let us now burn northwards ho! Bring us upwards into an encounter that crosses. I think I might have overdone this, to be honest. I'm very concerned that I have overdone my approach to Minmus. Maybe I should retro burn a little. Just a little. The texture, oh, there's a thing with the texture. What they have done with Minmus is it is no longer tidally locked. It will actually rotate on its axis. And also, they've reduced the mass just a little. Oh, there we go. Got an encounter. Okay, so that looks like a pretty good encounter, actually. So if I just bring this back slightly, I want to get it as close to Minmus as possible. Oh, sugar! Ah! I have... I landed a space plane on Minmus and flew it back. Yes. Oh, look at this. This is like... Ah! Wait a second. Which one is this? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna just time accelerate out a little, and then I'll adjust my orbit when I get up here. I should read that post in multiple solar systems, but it's hard to do while I'm actually trying to fly, so instead I will just imagine what they're talking about. I will just make things up. How about that? Not wanting to put words into Damien's mouth. Okay, so now what I want to do is save. So I want to burn this way to kill my orbital velocity a little. So now what I'm going to do is swing around Minmus and land on it. I want to do so by burning the least amount of fuel. The day Half-Life 3 comes out. Oh yes, that will be a day. Well, you know, we've had Duke Nukem Forever, and we've had Cortex Command got released. I mean, hell did in fact freeze over for that. It just froze over in the form of infinitely destructible pixels. So Half-Life 3 I expect someday to appear. Okay, where is this going to touch down? You know what? That is not ideal. How am I doing for fuel? 146. Do you think that's enough to get me down? I'm going to burn this way just a touch. Okay, so we're going to fly 4 kilometers over the surface, and I'm going to adjust it a little before then. There we go. There we go. Oh, wait a second. Where's the min-miss? Huh? It should just be down there. No? It must be... Oh, it's in the sun. Let's watch this eclipse happen then. Oh, there it is there. Come on, eclipse! Yes, I'm planning on flying back and soft landing on Kerbin. That is why I am doing this. To show that crazy things are indeed possible. Okay, let's see how we're doing. I guess I'm going to land on the Highlands then. Let's save it here, because you know what? I'm probably going to fail my burn repeatedly. What I want to do is just arrive and no more and kill my velocity and just drop onto the surface. Yeah, you know what? Eclipses will be better if they can actually make them cast shadows on planets. Here we go. Oh shoot! Hey, what happened? Okay, well, I gotta kill my velocity now. But at least... Okay, I'm now escaping. That's not what I wanted to have happen. What I wanted to do was land on the bright side. I moved my thing 1 kilometer above the surface, but guess that didn't work. Okay, I'm going to put it on that plateau there. Why? Why not? Let's save it again. How much fuel do I have? 101. Things are getting... I never figured out why this fuel dump was moved by the space Kraken. That's why I just flew back to it. I redid the landing. And it worked this time. This has so much thrust, it should be able to, like, completely... there's the button. There's the button. You know what, I'm going to have to push caps lock here. Okay. Oh, it's very stressful, this. And the ground radar altimeter isn't going to help me very much because I'm going sideways. Oh, wow. That's us basically going vertical. Just gonna kill a little bit. Oh, wait, shoot, we're in orbit. That's the problem. Crap. That's why I was flying sideways. How much are we doing? 68. Oh my goodness, I'm so low in fuel. Wonder how much it's going to take to get out of here after landing. There we go. Come on. Get back up there. Beautiful! So now I have touched down. I'm kind of wobbling around, but it's saving. How do you like that, huh? $62 is what we have. Okay. Now let's see where I actually am. What I want to figure out is, am I on the trailing side? Am I like totally in the middle of the... I'm totally in the middle of the trailing side, so I just need to burn straight forwards. And then I will come off into a return trajectory, okay? So there's Kerbin right there. We're just going to burn home. Right? Ready? Okay. So I need to bring my periaps down. And you know, if I don't have enough fuel... Uh-oh. Yes, I'm out of fuel. Yay! I wasted too much fuel on my return. Oh well. So what now? Well, there is a finite chance that I get caught by the moon and slung back into return orbit. Or I could send a rescue mission. Dun dun dun! Yeah, I'm too far away from the moon's orbit, I think, to actually encounter it. We could find out. It's always interesting to see if you actually get caught by one of these things. Oh, what's this? What's going to happen here? Wait, we're going to pass by the moon and get kicked off into interstellar space. Well, so much for that. Well, I'll have to follow that. So we did encounter the moon, but not in the way that I wanted to. Oh, wait a second. It changed it. Ah, I time accelerated over the encounter. It does bring my periaps down. Interplanetary. 1,300 kilometers above the surface. I'm swearing it's... I'm going to hit something eventually. The question is, on what time scale? Or I could just end the mission now. I could certainly put my Kerbin back to the surface. That might be the best way to go about this. Let's just do that. Okay, so let's align... Let's just take the Kerbin home. One way or another, before he goes stir crazy. Okay, EVA... Space to let go. And then we're going to burn this way. So he's going to fly down and streak through the atmosphere. And there's a finite chance that he'll survive, apparently. Actually, a problem is that he might hit water. How do I make sure he doesn't hit what he always hits? Oh, you know what I could do? Is I could force it to go to the South Pole, right? So if I... Okay, so hold on. If I burn upwards... No. Maybe that's not it. Maybe if I burn sideways? Oh, yeah, if I burn sideways, then I'm adjusting the thing like this. So if I drop myself onto the pole, then I guarantee I'm going to hit land. This is utterly stupid. target carbon. I haven't set... Oh, wait a second. Map. Where is carbon? Carbon is there. And I want to get myself oriented now. Okay. Ah, there we go. So this way, I guarantee that I'm not going to hit water, because water is certain death, because you don't bounce off of water. So there, I'm going to hit that or that. Wait a second, what way am I going? I'm going that way, so I actually want to get closer to this. Okay, we're going to pay Santa Claus a visit. There we go. Now your space jump really is... Yeah, we're going to do this. Somebody asked for space jump earlier. Well, you know, there's a finite chance this works. In fact, I'm going to save this because, you know, as I said, finite chance this actually works. Maybe he just lands and skateboards. Okay. So I'm going to come out of warp around 100 kilometers just to make sure. I'm going to make sure that my reaction control system is on. There, so he's going to be facing the right way, boldly aiming for the surface. The frozen ice sheets. This is such a bad idea. I guess I'm going to wait until I'm below below 100. There's no G meter here, that's the only thing. I'd also note that the carbons in with the RCS pack out have higher air resistance than those that do not. Here we go! Bang! Yep, okay, well that answered that. Well, okay. And with that, it is 10 to 1, and I have many things to do. Seriously, if you have some honest-to-God suggestions, I'm willing to entertain them. And yeah, I will see you guys around sometime. Fly safe. See you all. Check in, whatever. Do awesome stuff. Come up with ideas. Tell me about other things. There's so many other games I'd love to play that you've probably never heard of. And yeah, it's hard to keep track of IRC. I need like 5 monitors right now. So, see you all.